Preseason Game 3 saw Washington starters get in a good half of football to knock the rust off. Kirk Cousins with 3 straight touchdown passes to a trio of receivers to end his night. Josh Norman and the defense pressured for 30 minutes and held the Bills to a pair of field goals. Tonight, Scott McCloughan and Jay Gruden get their last chance to evaluate and make their final decisions on who will represent the Burgundy and Gold in 2016. The Redskins make their final impressions before the season kicks off against the Buccaneers tonight. The Redskins Broadcast Network welcomes you to Tampa, Florida, where the rain continues to fall. The game pushed up by a day as the coaches get ready in the rain and the players as well. A look at tonight's starting quarterback for the Redskins, Nate Sudfeld, and the fans will hope to stay dry. It's the preseason finale for the Washington Redskins as they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Kenny Albert along with Joe Theismann. Clinton Portis will be with us as well as we welcome you to a special edition of Wednesday Night Football here in Tampa for preseason game number 4. Joe, with the final cut-down date this coming Saturday, a lot at stake for players on both sides.
There really is, Kenny. And when you think about the beginning of the OTAs and mini camps, you look at the Redskin football team, you think, well, you know, we know pretty much who's going to be where. But then you look at the way they want to break down this football team. Obviously, 3 quarterbacks. Do they keep 3? Does Nate Sudfeld play at a point tonight where they make him keep 3? 3 or 4 running backs. What do you do regarding a fullback situation? Wide receivers. Josh Doctson hasn't worked at all. So there's questions everywhere. Is it 3 tight ends? Is it 4 tight ends? 9 offensive linemen, 8 offensive linemen. When you look at this football team on both sides of the ball, you start to wonder where exactly were they going to add somebody, where they might delete somebody.
Who are some of the young players that have impressed you over the first 3 games?
Well, the first one that jumps to mind, obviously, is Robert Kelly. He filled in very well for Keith Marshall last week when he got hurt, but he's done a nice job all through the preseason. He's sort of the unknown factor, a little bit like an Alfred Morris type guy, just going to get the yards for you. I thought he did an exceptional job, not just running the football, but having the ability to be able to pick up blitzes and make the adjustments necessary. Now, Martell Spate was another one who did did a very, very good job of being in the way. I mean, instinctive, out in space kind of a tackler. Does a really, really nice job putting his head on the ball, making plays, giving opportunities to everybody else on the defensive side of the ball. And then the third one, when you look at, is the Shazer Everett. He was just all over the field. This is going to be one of those guys, and in this particular type of a game, will have to stand out on special teams because, let's face it, Kenny, the secondary is full of a lot of people. Whether they're safeties or corners, you're going to really have to let the coaches know that you can contribute on special teams.
Roster spots at stake. Teams will cut from 75 down to 53 on Saturday. Who else are you looking forward to watching tonight against the Bucs?
Well, Houston Bates is the first one that comes to mind for me because it was in this game a year ago, in the 4th preseason game, that I believe he made this football team. And then Garvin is another one who has stood out, another one of those tall guys. Terrence Garvin did a real nice job. I mean, you know, he's played enough football to have the experience that is necessary. And Lanier is the other one. The outside linebacker position looked really solid. Then we saw Ryan Kerrigan go down with a groin, and then all of a sudden, you know, obviously Junior Gillette didn't have the opportunity to play because of the torn Achilles. So when you look at this football team, there's opportunities everywhere.
Washington Redskins preseason football is brought to you in part by FedEx. Ship FedEx Ground at FedEx Office. Bud Light, who reminds fans to make the right call and drink responsibly. And by Inova, official health system of the Washington Redskins. Now let's head downstairs to a former Miami Hurricane who hopes to stay out of one here in Tampa. Clinton Portis for our Geico What to Watch For over the next 15 minutes. Clinton.
Guys, what to watch for besides cats and dogs coming down? 3 guys didn't make the trip. Matt Jones, Chris Thompson, or Keith Marshall, they will not be playing. So tonight I look to see what happens in the backfield with Kelly, Mac Brown. If either of those guys get tired, look for them to be spared by fullback Joe Carriage. If he gets tired and no guys can go, Southeast Jerome is here for the rescue. Back up to you all.
That's Clinton. Of course, Clinton, one of many of Clinton's characters was Southeast Jerome. You never knew quite what he was going to come walking down to a press conference in.
Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Tonight's keys to the game, Joe, brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
On a night like this, Kenny, when it's this wet, getting the snap from center will be paramount. That's one thing we'll be looking for. That's a big key in this game. The second one is, as you hand the ball off, hold on to the football. Receivers protect the football. Running backs protect the football. Those will be the keys tonight.
Well, the Buccaneers have won the toss, elected to defer. So the rookie out of Florida State, Roberto Aguayo, will get things started. Rashad Ross back deep for the Redskins, along with Maurice Harris. Both teams at 2-1 during the preseason. Redskins coming off a 21-16 victory over the Buffalo Bills on Friday, and we are underway in rainy Tampa. Ross will take a knee. Redskins will start from the 25-yard line, one of the new rules this season. Went out onto the field by the rookie out of Indiana, the 6th-round draft pick, Nate Sudfeld.
It's had a fairly productive preseason. You see the numbers, 2 touchdowns, protected the ball well, led comebacks over the last couple of games. He's a gamer. That's the way Sean McVay, the offensive coordinator, has described him. Hasn't had a lot of opportunity to work through practices, with Kirk Cousins getting much of the work and then Colt McCoy sort of filling in. And Nate gets a few snaps, but now he gets a lot tonight.
Robert Kelly in the backfield, the Redskins' leading rusher during the preseason. And on first down, this is Kelly, the rookie out of Tulane, as we check out the starting lineups, brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds fans to make the right call and drink responsibly.
Ty Nsekhe on the left, at the left tackle position. Wandro at the guard. That's the left side of it. Another young left side for the Washington Redskins on offense. Logan Paulson at the tight end position, fighting for a job. Rashad Ross has worked an awful lot through the preseason.
Ross split to the left, Harris split wide to the right. On 2nd down and 3 off the delay, this is Kelly once again, who picked up 7 on first down. And Robert Kelly is out to the 38-yard line, a gain of 5 as the Redskins move the chains.
You like his vision. Joe Carriage does a nice job, number 38, the fullback, leading the way. But you see him make that move in the secondary. That's something that Randy Jordan, the running backs coach, has been looking for out of the young backs. Once you get to that 2nd and 3rd level, can you make someone miss?
Kelly off to the sidelines, replaced by Mac Brown. 1st and 10, 38-yard line. As Sudfeld hands it off to Brown, and he finds a hole. Out to the 47-yard line, a gain of 8 on first down, setting up 2nd and 2 as we take a look at the Buccaneers defensive unit.
Last year, the secondary certainly had its problems. You see the defensive line, lots of young guys trying to make this football team. Excuse me. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafted 4 guys on the defensive side to try and make them a little bit better all the way around. Gave up 70% completion percentage last year. So you know the defense has become a focus for Dirk Cutter, their head coach.
2nd down and 1. As Sudfeld hands it off to Brown. And Mac Brown is across midfield. Has another first down before he was tackled by Adarius Glanton. A gain of 4.
You look at the commitment that Sean McVay, the offensive coordinator, is making early in the game to run the football. But look at the holes. I mean, Mac doesn't have an idea where to go. There isn't anybody around. No one to make miss. They've done a really nice job. Austin Ritter at center. Wandro at left guard. And Nsekhe at tackle. That left side continues to do a really nice job of rooting people out.
Robert Kelly has returned to the backfield. 1st and 10 from the Buccaneers 49 as Sudfeld throws for the first time. And his intended target was the tight end Logan Paulson, planting on the coverage.
Put the ball right where he had to. Of course, we talked about Nate wearing gloves this evening. I never wore gloves to throw with.
No?
I managed to be able to throw a wet ball fairly well. I remember we played here in Tampa in a torrential downpour. The water was cascading down the old Sombrero steps. Field dried out in the second half, but I mean, the ball, it just gets heavier and heavier as the game goes on. That's the only thing you concern yourself with.
You beat me to it. Your ex-teammate Doc Walker told me to ask you about that game here in Tampa. On 2nd and 10, it's Kelly. He has been so impressive during training camp and the first 3 preseason games.
Can he watch these moves he makes just before he gets to the line of scrimmage? You set up the offensive lineman with opportunities. You press outside, cut it back. Now once again, make a move. Now finish going forward. It's exactly what you're looking for. We've seen a lot of runs, do a good job protecting the ball. Look at how he holds the ball. Nice and tight to his body. Free runner. Then when you get in trouble, cover it up with 2.
Thompson and Thorpe, the wideouts. There's Kendall Thompson from the Tampa Bay 38. On 1st down, it's Kelly once again. And Robert Kelly works his way to the Buccaneers 33 for a gain of 5. He gained 51 yards on 12 carries Friday against the Buffalo Bills, and he's done a terrific job in pass protection as well.
Well, he's going to wind up with that many yards in this drive alone. But the right side now, Joshua Rebus and Jacoby Cofield, right guard and right tackle, doing a nice job. In fact, that entire offensive line of Bill Callahan's, this second unit, has done an outstanding job so far.
2nd down and 5 from the Tampa Bay 33. Opening drive of the game for the Redskins as Kelly looks to spin out of trouble.
I think it's working.
And gains a yard. Jonathan Banks, the tackle.
You had to figure sooner or later Mike Smith, the new defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, was not just going to sit in a base defense and give this offense a chance to just find holes and pick his way. A little more pressure that time, not allowing him to find the running lanes.
Kelly with 30 yards, averaging 6 per carry.
You know, this is a great opportunity for the coaches on of the Redskins to be able to teach the young guys what they want.
Brown lined up to the right of Sudfeld. 3 receivers set. 3rd down and 4. Catches made by Rashad Ross, but a nice tackle by Jude I.J. Barima to keep him from picking up the 1st down.
Well, you think you want to run those crossing routes so that you can get enough yards to get past the 1st down marker. On that particular play, didn't happen.
I.J. Barima in his 2nd season out of Bowling Green, so the Redskins send out the field goal unit. Dustin Hopkins, 1 of 2 during this preseason. This a 47-yard attempt. In the rain, Tressway places it down, and Hopkins from 47 nails it, giving the Redskins a 3-0 lead.
Always something you're curious about in this kind of weather. How will the kicking game go?
Good opening drive for running back Robert Kelly and the Redskins. Washington Redskins preseason football is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Crop Metcalf, home of the 5-star technician. Ford F-150, the official truck of the Washington Redskins. And by FanDuel, the leader in one-day fantasy sports.
I never mind playing in the rain. It was wind that bothered me, and it's not too windy an evening, so you're just dealing with a lot of water. And as the game goes on, your uniform gets heavier, your feet start sloshing around, your footing you have to be careful of. All those little things as the game goes on, coaches watch and look for.
Rain has been falling since
About
late
midnight.
yesterday.
Yeah, about midnight.
Bernard Reedy is back deep for the Bucs. And they will start from their 25-yard line. Redskins out to a 3-0 lead. 5.5 in here in Tampa. The new Redskins mobile app is here. Live access, the latest news, videos, and scores. Connect with other Redskin fans throughout enhanced chat and social media outlets. Download for free on iTunes or Google Play and create a profile for the chance to win exclusive Redskins rewards all season long. The Virginia native Mike Glennon starting at quarterback for the Bucs tonight.
Westfield High School product.
And he hands it off on first down. This is Peyton Barber, rookie out of Auburn, who gains a yard. So Glennon, of course, the backup to Jameis Winston, who had an outstanding rookie season last year for the Bucs.
Who, of course, before Jameis Winston got here, was the starting quarterback and I thought played pretty well. When you look at his 2014 season, just 10 TDs to 6 interceptions, about half the season. Big, tall guy, another one 6'6".
Again, this is Barber on second down. Gain of 3. Duke Iheanacho, the tackle. Starting lineups brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds fans to make the right call and drink responsibly.
We talked about a lot of competition at the wide receiver position, but you look at the offensive line, you're always looking for that 7th, 8th, 9th offensive lineman. Vitale, Barber, Bell, as a wide receiver. We talked about the competition there at the tight end position as well.
Third down and 5 for the Bucs on their opening possession. As Glennon fires downfield, and Russell Shepard unable to hang on.
Really, really a good job by Kendall Fuller. Once again, we've seen him come up and make plays continually. The rookie doing a really good job. Yeah, he gets beat, but look at, he doesn't quit. Find the ball, pull it out, do anything you can to cause the incompletion. Gets his arms up inside and forces the ball out. That's just an outstanding play. Virginia Tech product. Of course, saw Rondé Barber earlier, and his brother Tiki, Virginia Tech products. Well, no, they're not, Joe.
Here's Ross. Ross bottled up, brought down shy of the 20.
They will get really mad at me. They're UVA products, not Virginia Tech products.
Rondé, the color-analyst on Buccaneers preseason broadcasts. Redskins back on offense following the terrific defensive stand. Redskins fans plan ahead for the home opener Monday night, September 12th. The Redskins host the Steelers at 7 p.m. at FedEx Field. A reminder, Joe, get there early. Yes. Opening day, national stage, 7 o'clock kickoff. Also save the date, Saturday, September 10th, 3 to 6 p.m. It's the Redskins rally kickoff party at 1 Loudon in Ashburn. More details to be released very soon. First and 10, 19-yard line. This is Mack Brown, who found a hole, a first down and more. He is finally tackled at the 40-yard line, so Brown goes for 21.
Once again, running on the left side where Nseki is and Kwanjo. Good job at the point of attack. Ty Nseki, good contact, and then you look at the vision of Mack Brown when he gets into the secondary.
Redskins general manager Scott McCloughan very high on Ty Nseki. He said, in his opinion, Nseki would start for over half the teams in the NFL.
I think more than that. I mean, you talk about a guy who's traveled through 6 different arena teams and fought his way to where he is as a heck of a tackle.
Off the play fake on first and 10 from the 40-yard line. Sudfeld sacked back at the 33. Loss of 8 on the play.
The job that Robert Kelly and Mack Brown did on the first drive created opportunities for the field goal. Robert Kelly, good vision inside, making plays. Now you stretch and press. But you look at the offensive line, the holes that they're running through. I mean, really, they're 6-7 yards down the field, the running backs are, before anybody ever really gets a shot at them.
Joe Jaquez Smith with the sack. It's his 4th of the preseason. Buccaneers had 8 sacks in their game against Cleveland last week. Our first flag did not take nearly this long last week.
We've had a few in the first preseason games early.
Craig Rolstad, the referee.
Holding. Offense, number 67. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is third down.
That's Josh Lariva's penalty has declined. Remember last Friday against the Bills, Redskins offensive line called for 7 penalties.
Here you have to move your feet, especially on stretch plays. When the running back's trying to get outside, you can't really hang on to a guy. I would look for a run of some type of a draw or a short pass, because you're not going to be able to hold it long enough to get the amount of yards you need.
And on 3rd and 21, it is Brown. So the Redskins, after marching downfield, kicking a field goal on their opening drive, will punt it away.
You stop and think about it. When you have 3rd and 20 or more, you're not going to have time to get rid of the football. You've got a night where it's done nothing but rain, so field conditions don't allow anybody to get down the field. And certainly, if you're the quarterback, you're not going to hold it down.
Trustway, who's been terrific once again.
He's my star of the training camp. Just kicks it 60 plus all the time.
Reedy bobbled it at the 9. Reedy out to the 25-yard line, 16 on the return. First quarter action in Tampa. Redskins lead by 3. 3-0 Redskins, just over 5 minutes remaining. First quarter. Joe, I know you've been looking forward to checking out our Twitter ticker presented by Print and Play from the Virginia Lottery, proud sponsor of the Washington Redskins. Tweet at Redskins with hashtag HTTR or hashtag Redskins Talk to join the conversation.
That was the first one, was a great observation to make things happen. Win your spot.
Glennon on first down to the tight end, Brandon Myers. And it's Kendall Fuller who comes up to make the tackle. There is a flag on the play.
So you had to say something.
Only our second.
Unnecessary roughness, late hit. Defense number 36. That's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Sua Cravens, when he was on the ground, just sort of threw his shoulder into him, a little bit too aggressive. Have him in there playing the linebacker position. Normally, you're going to see him in nickel, third down situations, but now really earning a spot as an inside backer.
Cravens, the Redskins' second-round pick out of USC. First and 10 from the 39-yard line. This is Barber. Leans out across the 40. Short gain. 2nd and 9 coming up.
In a game like this, it's so difficult for coaches, Kenny, because you want to create certain plays and opportunities for players. It's almost like the conditions don't allow you to see exactly what you want to see. It's a test of their mettle, but it isn't exactly what you're looking for.
Off the play fake on 2nd down. Glennon loses the football, and then he will fall on it back at the 25 with Trent Murphy applying the pressure.
It was what we talked about as far as the keys to the game goes, being able to hold on to a wedge football. Watch the ball. Now he'll take it away from his body. It just slips out. Gone. They call it a pigskin for a reason. It just keeps squirting around all over the place.
So the Bucs now facing a 3rd down and 24. And like the Redskins on 3rd and long, they will keep it on the ground with Barber and then punt it back to Washington.
The thing you love about Sua Cravens is he's a find the ball kind of guy. He's instinctive. He reminds me of Rashad Breeland, who did the same thing when he first joined this team a couple years ago. Being able to get to the football, weave through the traffic and make a play.
Big opportunity for the youngsters to see a lot of playing time tonight with almost every starter on both sides not in uniform.
Of course, the Redskins starters went to the welcome home luncheon today, so they're back in Washington, D.C.
Ross will not field the punt, and the Redskins will start from their 25-yard line with a 3-0 lead. Sua Cravens right in the middle of the action once again. Truck guys can't stop talking about Ford. Are now during the Ford Freedom Sales Event. Get the best deals of the summer on Ford F-150. Check out the official truck of the Washington Redskins at your local Ford dealer or go to MidAtlanticFordDealers.com. Late first quarter in Tampa. The first quarter 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Inova, the official sports medicine provider of the Washington Redskins. Sudfeld on first down, and reaching out to make the catch is Maurice Harris, the rookie out of Cal.
We talked about different guys that are sort of on the bubble, have to impress. Maurice Harris is one of those guys. 6'3", 200 pounds. He's a big guy. Watch him reach out and snatch that ball out of the air. You just can't appreciate when the ball's away from your body making those kind of catches in these kind of elements. It's difficult.
4th reception of the preseason for the undrafted Harris. 2nd down and 7. This is Brown. Redskins coming into this drive, Joe, averaging 7 yards per carry today.
And it's a thing that you have to learn as a young back, is you cannot circle these defenses. The ends are too quick, the linebackers flow too well, and the safeties support very quickly. We saw it early with Keith Marshall in the first preseason game, and then we saw it a little bit with Robert Kelly. Robert Kelly has learned more now to press the inside to get to the second level through the middle.
Redskins with 73 yards on the ground. Kelly in the backfield. 3rd down and 3. Sudfeld looking to throw. Off the mark, intended for Harris.
Good defensive play outside. Now, there's just not a whole lot of space to squeeze it in. Come up, plant the foot in the ground, make the move inside, and a lot of traffic, a lot of contact, and no flag.
Alteron Verner, one of the few veterans of the Bucs lineup tonight, defending.
And defending the right to be on this football team is what he's doing.
Reedy back deep. Way punch for the 2nd time tonight. And again, Reedy has trouble with it. And then he loses the football, and it is recovered in the end zone by the Redskins for a touchdown on special teams.
Doesn't catch it cleanly, and then here comes the entire unit. Houston Bates once again being the guy on the spot, continuing to hustle.
And then Robert Kelly falling on the football for the first touchdown of the night. Although now Craig Rolstad announces that the touchdown will be taken off the board.
Look, they assume that his forward momentum was stopped, and obviously the whistle blew, but even the other official didn't hear it.
One official signaled touchdown in the end zone, but instead it will be Buccaneers football with the Redskins leading 3-0.
It doesn't change the fact that there's tape to study to see the hustle that the guys went after the ball. You stood the receiver up, you ripped the ball away, and you made the play. Jay's explaining to the official what he saw.
So now the Buccaneers go back to work from their 12-yard line. On first down, this is Russell Hansbrough. His first carry today, the rookie out of Missouri, who's done a nice job on special teams for the Bucs.
Yeah, and Joe Barry, the defensive coordinator, Kenny, just going to continue to play the style of defense he wants, because he wants to see how guys fit in. Trent Murphy doing a good job not allowing them to get outside, and then they stay with the aggressive front 7.
Final minute, first quarter in Tampa. In the rain, 2nd down and 10. Lennon handing it off to Hansbrough. And he gains a yard. So the Buccaneers now facing a 3rd down and 9 as we hit 20 seconds on the clock.
Sua Cravens once again shooting the gap. Just gets outside, makes people miss, and then all of a sudden there he is. He flashes. you really stop and think, he's only like 225 pounds. I mean, he's a small inside backer with great skills.
Well, the first quarter comes to an end here in Tampa in the preseason finale for the Redskins and the Buccaneers. Justin Hopkins with a 47-yard field goal on the opening drive. Washington out to a 3-0 lead after one. Back in Tampa, first quarter numbers brought to you by USAA, official military appreciation sponsor of the Washington Redskins, who controlled the football, Joe, for over 10 minutes in the first quarter.
Running the football. We've seen him gain, you mentioned it, Kenny, 7 yards a carry. He's going to allow you to control it.
3rd down and 9 for Glennon and the Bucs. Glennon with time, and the pass gets broken up. It's Lanier. You talked about him in the open. He's 6'6". Anthony Lanier, the second, who knocked one down Friday against Buffalo as well.
Oh, this one he doesn't knock down. This one hits him almost right in the nose. I mean, he does a nice job of spinning away, and there it is right there. He can't believe it. Terrific job spinning away. Looking to get, oh my goodness. Anthony Lanier the second. Got to smile about that one.
Rookie out of Alabama A&M. So 3 possessions for Tampa Bay, 3 punts. Fielded at the 36 by Rashawn Ross. And he takes it out to the 44 for an 8-yard return. Joe, our Geico what to watch for over the next 15 minutes.
Well, will the Redskins continue to try and pound the football, or will they give Nate Sudfeld an opportunity to put it in the air? That's one thing I want to look for. The other is tackling. Will the Redskins continue to tackle well as they have in the first quarter?
Excellent field position for Nate Sudfeld and the Redskins. They start from the 43-yard line, leading the Buccaneers 3-0. Mac Brown in the backfield along with the fullback Joe Carriage. And Sudfeld hands it off to Brown. Nowhere to go. And he will lose 3. Well, the last time these teams faced one another, Joe, really the turning point of the 2015 season for the Redskins.
It really became a coming-of-age party for Kirk Cousins. He brought the team back from a 24-zip deficit. And when you look at that football game, I thought that the Redskins, through the first part of the season, really tried to protect him a little bit. They were forced to allow him to go out and win a football game, and he responded tremendously after that. The last 9 games of the season, there isn't anybody that played any better football in the NFL at the quarterback position than Kirk Cousins.
Here is Brown. This time finds a big hole across midfield and still going. Mac Brown is inside the 20, the 10, and he dives for the end zone for a Redskins touchdown.
This is one of the finest runs you're going to see in all of preseason from a running back, whether he's a veteran or a young guy. The amount of people that he made miss, the sudden cuts he made on the 3rd level are so impressive, and then the speed to run away. Right here, look at this move. Just left him standing now, run away from everybody.
A 60-yard touchdown run.
He's one of those young men that you have to find a spot for. The Redskins are down in running backs. And he's making a case to say, hey, look, I want to be on this football team. It was a position that got real thin, and when you look at Robert Kelly and the things that Mac Brown is doing, you have to say to yourself, these young guys have done an outstanding job, not just running the football, but in pass pro.
He spent last year on the practice squad out of the University of Florida. Hopkins the extra point. Redskins out to a 10-0 lead in the rain in Tampa. 60-yard touchdown run and dive into the end zone. Mac Brown. Back in Tampa, Redskins with a 10-0 lead over the Buccaneers in the preseason finale. Kenny Albert along with Joe Theismann and Clayton Portis, and we are pleased to welcome into the broadcast booth the president of the Washington Redskins, Bruce Allen. Bruce, it's been a whirlwind couple of days with the game moved up from Thursday to tonight, and a tremendous turnout earlier today at the Redskins Welcome Home Luncheon in Virginia.
Well, yeah, first of all, our 55th annual Welcome Home Luncheon was a complete success. We had 20 of our 5 active players and 25 alumni there. But I like what the league did and Tampa Bay did with public safety, worrying about a storm coming in tomorrow. This was the right thing to do.
And plus, and we didn't have to cancel the welcome home lunch, even though they moved the game. I thought that the Redskins did a terrific job saying, all right, look, there's no reason to force you guys to come down, and there's some of the veterans, and there's some of the young guys. Of course, Daryl Green still, I believe, can outrun everybody in this league. And D. Hall, of course, switching to safety, and it's great to see the young guys and those veterans together. Sorry we weren't there. Some of us had to come to Tampa and get wet.
You would have fit in. You know, we had
would have been abused by
Bobby
all those
Mitchell
guys.
was there, Sonny Jurgensen, Charlie Taylor, 3 of our great Hall of Famers, and it was great for our active players and our fans.
And it gives the young guys an opportunity to come down here and be able to compete for a job. And we've seen what this defense has been able to do. The special teams force what we thought was a fumble. Now on defense, you get a big run from Mac Brown. How impressed are you with the depth of this football team?
You know, I like what we've seen in training camp. I think Coach Gruden and the players have done a great job of working together, trying to find out the right chemistry that we need for this football season. And the players right now are competing not only for roster spots, but for play time during the season.
Not only here, and I think what people don't understand to a degree sometimes, they think it isn't just trying to make the Washington Redskins, but it's being able to put some stuff on tape so that may be another opportunity, because really, since August 30th through September 3rd, you're going to have 1,000 guys hitting the street.
Yeah, Joe, but, you know, we're at 75 players right now. We really only cut down to 63. You have to cut to 53, but we're allowed to put 10 guys on the practice squad. So that's what these guys are competing for. And we want to have players on our team this year that did go through training camp at Richmond.
It looks like it's been the healthiest training camp OTAs that we've had. I'm not jinxing it. I'm just saying.
Bruce did knock on wood.
You know, we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, so I got it out of the way early. This is sort of this isn't when it's the first time it showed up. It's a little bit of a repeat, but it's so much easier to evaluate guys when we see them in one piece.
Well, we love watching them compete. You know, for all these players on the football field, they have worked very hard to get to this point. And this is a very important game for them, and we want to give them every opportunity to make our team or another team.
How about the opener on Monday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers? How exciting is that for our fans and for this football team?
Well, we have some very special things that are going to go on. We have some special things going on.
You can say, ooh, it's okay. It wasn't ooh.
We're honoring the first responders from the Pentagon from the 9/11. We have a military salute during the game. We're looking forward to it.
Penalty marker thrown during the punt as we continue to chat with Redskins president Bruce Allen. Referee Craig Rolstad sorting things out with the Redskins leading the Buccaneers 10-0.
Offside. Defense, number 45. That penalty's declined. First down, Washington.
Bruce, can you hang with us for one more segment?
Absolutely.
All right, back in Tampa in just a moment. Jay Gruden's Redskins leading by 10.
Papa John's says hail to the Redskins with 50% off regular menu prices the day after every Redskins win. Enter promo code HTTR50. That's hail to the Redskins 50 at papajohns.com. Your one and only official pizza of the Washington Redskins for over, how many years, Bruce? 17 years.
17 years. John Snyder's a great guy.
I tell you, I loved helping him find his car. The original car, he sold his original car, and we had him on the air just as you were there many years ago, and there was somebody, I believe, in Kentucky that actually had his car. Contacted him, and now he's had it restored, and he's back. It's back home where it belongs. So
absolutely, right in their offices. We went there to see his beautiful offices.
They've been great partners of ours. Of course, great partners for the National Football League.
Pepperoni or meatball, Bruce?
What's your
mushroom? I'm a mushroom guy.
I'm a plain guy.
Yeah, but
cheese, extra cheese.
I don't know how to have a pizza without a beer. That's one of my issues.
Now we'll segue back to training camp, Bruce, and you mentioned training camp. Another very successful summer in Richmond, Virginia.
Well, you know, we're really proud of our relationship with Richmond. We go to the inner city, and it allows the kids in Richmond to really come out, see the players up close, and we found that to be a great relationship.
The Bon Secours training facility really gives you everything you want. The players get to stay downtown in Richmond, get to interact in the community there, and then the facility is perfect. It's great for the fans. When you see how many fans ring the field and get a chance to watch the players sort of walk through a bit of a gauntlet to get out there, everybody, and they're so responsive to them.
Well, they love interacting with the kids individually, and it's great, but it also brings the team together with a great camaraderie. You know, going away to training camp, Joe, there's something special about going away with the guys.
You do build a chemistry on the team.
Right. What are some of your biggest memories of going to training camp with your dad?
Well,
I have them of him.
yeah, but Joe's not going to talk about it. You know, I got to learn, as Dad would say, can you learn some of their good habits one of these days? And, you know, I got hijacked a few times. Joe took care of me one time. I took care of Sonny another time, and that's the way life was.
But it really is. It's a great opportunity to get to know the guys that you're going to spend really the next 9 months together with in a room every day. You know, bleeding, sweating, crying, laughing, caring about one another, and it truly develops a tremendous family feeling.
And that's what football's about, Joe. We're a team on the field, we're a team off the field, and that's the type of bond that we want for our players to feel.
We were talking a little bit about Monday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have to get there early, of course, at 1 Loud. There's going to be a big pep rally on the 10th for everybody to get out and support their football team. That's in Ashburn, Virginia. I think there's more excitement around this football team than I've seen in a lot of years, and a lot less uncertainty.
Oh, absolutely, Joe. And you're saying the Monday night game. We live in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. The kickoff is 7 o'clock. We're opening up the lots very early. We're going to have a lot of bands and festivities in our great parking lot for our tailgaters. We need them there early and make sure that we bring the home script early.
On the deflection on the first pass attempt tonight from Ryan Griffin. It is picked off on the deflection by Duke Iheanacho.
Well, Duke winds up picking it off, but to Shazer Everett, once again, making a play. We see him making plays through all the preseason. Had the one against the Jets. He just hangs the ball up in the air, goes up, knocks it up in the air. Terrific tip drill. They practice it all the time. And then a great diving interception. Duke Iheanacho, was the starting safety a year ago. Played 10 plays and then all of a sudden missed the rest of the year. He has been a man on a mission this year.
You know, we like the depth once again that we have on this team, Joe, and
especially at safety.
And safety, we feel good right now.
You don't have to keep knocking on wood when I say stuff, okay? Really? I'm not trying to jinx anybody here.
Well, with the Redskins back in offense, Bruce, as always, thanks for spending a couple of minutes. Have a great season.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Bruce, good to see you.
Bruce Allen, the president of the Washington Redskins, who spent a number of terrific seasons, of course, Joe, down here in Tampa with the Bucs as well.
Did a wonderful job, part of a Super Bowl team down here.
Here's Robert Kelly.
Well, you look at the way our guys are running. Yards after contact is what you really want to see, and really making guys miss in the secondary. These are all the things that Randy Jordan, the running back coach, talked to me about last week. Just making guys miss, running through tackles. What happens when you hit that second and third level? You're seeing some terrific efforts. And you can't understate what's happening up front, Kenny, either. That offensive line is really creating tremendous running lanes, both left and right side.
On second down, it's Kelly again, bouncing it to the outside. And he is brought down at the Buccaneers 11 as the Redskins look to capitalize following the turnover.
When I had a chance to talk to Randy Jordan, the running backs coach, I asked him about his young guys, and he said what he's very, very pleased with is the way they've responded to what he calls the AAA. The assignment, the alignment, and the adjustments. We've seen the running backs, these young running backs, do all three. They know what they want to do from an assignment standpoint. They've been in the right position and right place from an alignment standpoint. And they've made the right kind of adjustments when it comes to being able to have to pick up blitzes or get out of the backfield.
First and 10 from the Buccaneers 11. Here's Kelly. By the way, Joe, changes on the offensive line. Jacoby Colefield has moved over to the left side. Isaiah Williams over to right tackle as the Redskins young running backs continue to impress.
And they continue to impress because the offensive line continues to make room. Only 9 rushes for Matt Jones. He's hopeful will be back. Chris Thompson once again will be back. Robert Kelly, you look at the amount of rushes that he has had through before this game. And of course, Mac Brown's going to add a lot of yards after that big run of his.
Right, those numbers coming into tonight's game. Brown with the 60-yard touchdown run earlier today. Sudfeld throws, end zone, looking for the tight end Paulson.
The thing you have to understand about Nate Sudfeld is he's never really worked out of a pocket before. He spent a lot of time in the gun. Now he is in the gun again. He's trying to get very comfortable, know where people have to be. Just got rid of it just in time before he gets level. I've been impressed with the way he's continued to grow and learn. And when I talk to him, he says, I can get better. I know I can do this. Very confident young man.
3rd down and 4 from just outside the Tampa Bay 5-yard line. Sudfeld, end zone, and it's broken up. Kendall Thompson, the intended receiver, who caught the game-winning touchdown 2 weeks ago against the Jets. Josh Robinson makes the defensive play.
Thrown a little bit inside. This is a ball you want to throw back to the outside shoulder and up high to give him a chance to go up and make a play.
Nate Sudfeld over for a chat with head coach Jay Gruden, who won a Super Bowl ring on his brother's staff here in Tampa.
Jay's won a lot down here. 8 seasons in the AFL, 6 league championships, MVP, Arena Bowl, 93.
With Orlando, about an hour and 15 minutes from Tampa. Hopkins connects on the 23-yard field goal, extending the Redskins lead. It's now 13-0. Back in Tampa, the Washington Redskins would like to thank all of the 2016 partners who support the team's season-long military appreciation program, Operation Salute Our Troops. Visit redskins.com/OSOT for more information.
Gotta love the troops. Anytime you see somebody in a uniform, say hello and thank you. This is really a great part of teaching. Now, look at Jay Gruden. He's listening to what Nate Sudfeld is explaining as he tries to explain what he saw. There to the right of the screen, you saw Matt Cavanaugh also listening in, letting the young man grow and learn. It's just, we have such a great staff of teachers.
Joe, you mentioned Jay Gruden's record-setting career in the Arena League. We asked Jay if he is tougher on quarterback since he played the position.
Such a crucial position. So many people's jobs are riding on it that you have to stay on them, and they have to be mentally tough. If they can't handle me yelling at them or giving them a hard time, or the media giving them a hard time, how the heck are they going to play on Sundays on 3rd down and 8 with the crowd screaming at them and the rush all-out blitz coming out? How are they going to handle that?
Couldn't have put it any better. I mean, coaches can create situations for you that if you wilt, you will not survive. I think the most important element of a quarterback, and I get asked this quite often, what is the most important thing? It's mental toughness.
5-yard penalty, 1st down.
You have to be mentally tough, because not only do you get it from the coaches, but the teammates. They don't have to say anything. It's just a look they give you. It's a look of uncertainty or a look of approval. It's the same thing when you go home sometimes and your wife says to you, why did you do that? That's some of the toughest scrutiny that you're going to go through.
Were you always mentally tough, thinking back to your high school and collegiate days, or is it a gradual process?
No, I think I had to be, because I was such a little guy. I mean, I went to college at 152 pounds, and there were 13 other quarterbacks. And if you didn't believe in who you were, you just weren't going to be able to survive. And once again, we talked about Houston Bates. And this game, this 4th preseason game, you see him flowing, making plays. We know he's a heck of a special teamer. Now you see what he does as an inside backer. Of course, it's a little painted up, too.
Yes.
There's absolutely no more eye black in the Redskin locker room. It's all in his face.
Face black.
Face black.
Timeout is taken by the Buccaneers. 2nd series for quarterback Ryan Griffin. Griffin out of Tulane, spent some time on the Saints practice squad.
The thing about playing the quarterback position in this kind of weather, it's difficult because you want to impress. You want to show the coaches you can get things done. It's like the interception he threw. He was going to his left. He was off balance. He hung it in bad weather, allowing DeShazer to come up and knock it up in the air so that the interception could be made. Just throw it in the ground.
And so much at stake for a guy like Griffin. Will the Buccaneers keep 3 quarterbacks? The other 31 teams watching the game tonight, they'll take a look at the film.
Who is someone else possibly going to cut that you could bring in? So many options.
Griffin's pass is caught and taken out to the 34-yard line by the second-year receiver out of Nebraska, Kenny Bell. By the way, when Griffin was a senior at Tulane, his top rusher and second leading receiver was a sophomore by the name of Robert Kelly. Back on the same field tonight.
Certainly putting on a show tonight. Quentin Dunbar in the game, by the way, number 47.
3rd and inches.
I don't think he made it. I believe the Redskins got enough penetration to stop it.
Matt Ioannidis coming up to make the stop on Barber.
Nice little step around job by Ioannidis. Make him go laterally. Don't allow him to go forward to get that foot.
So Brian Anger out to punt for the 5th time tonight. He won the battle with Jacob Shum, who was waived earlier this week. Ross will let it bounce, and now he fields it at the 13. 6-yard return out to the 19-yard line by Rashad Ross. Just over 6 minutes remaining. Second quarter in Tampa. Jay Gruden's Redskins leading the Buccaneers 13-0. As we check out our Twitter ticker, most of the Redskins starters are back home. Starting safety David Bruton checks in via Twitter.
Yeah, letting guys know he sees them. King Jay.
Stuart Cravens.
He really is. I mean, that's very well put. He's playing like a young man possessed. You can see the energy that he plays with.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Nate Sudfeld and the Redskins. Sudfeld handing it off to Mack Brown, who's had a huge night. A 60-yard touchdown run earlier, and now Brown gains 23.
He had 108 coming in. So far in this game, he's rushed for 133 yards on 11 carries. From the first time he touched the football, he was impressive. There was an explosiveness about him and a power about him that just impressed you. And we see the suddenness and now the speed.
"11 carries, 130 yards, and a touchdown for Brown here in the first half." Here's Brown again.
He's a little gassed at this point. It's a nice little 1-2 punch tonight. Robert Kelly, Mack Brown, spelling one another.
Neela Casatati, the rookie out of Oklahoma, now in at right guard for the Redskins, who have Cofield, Quanjo, Ryder, Casatati, and Williams up front.
And what they're doing is they're rotating them in different positions. They're not just staying in left tackle, right guard, center. They're moving them around.
2nd and 10. Sudfeld sets and throws that pass behind the intended receiver, Maurice Harris.
Tough night to evaluate the receivers. A position where you really have to look at them, how they might fit in as far as special teams goes. Maurice Harris, a big guy out of Cal. And he only had 14 starts when he was in college, but you just don't have big receivers on this football team. I mean, Josh Doxson is a big one, but has he played it all? No. You don't really know exactly where he can fit in from a special team standpoint.
Doxson was on hand at the welcome home luncheon earlier today, along with the other Redskins who did not make the trip. Most of the starters. Penalty marker on 3rd down.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 57. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
That's on Noah Spence, the second-round pick out of Eastern Kentucky. Fight for 53, brought to you by USAA, official military appreciation sponsor of the Washington Redskins.
Well, you see the 5 for sure. Josh Doxson probably will be the 6. You know, Kendall Thompson's one of those guys who we saw them make a great catch a couple weeks ago. Maurice Harris is a big one. Of course, T.J. Thorpe, another one who's done well on special teams and made some plays.
Third down and 5. It's Kelly. Spence, who was called for the penalty on the previous play, makes the tackle. Kelly stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker, so the Redskins will punt it away.
You know, I said it before, Kenny, but when you really stop and think, how difficult a night is it to be able to evaluate wide receivers? The footing isn't that good. You know, Nate's trying to get the ball out of his hands in a place where the guys can make a play on him, but it's tough to throw back shoulder throws when the guys' feet are falling out from underneath them.
Both teams have kept the ball on the ground for the most part in the rain here in the first half. Final preseason game for both the Redskins and the Buccaneers. Both teams at 2-1. Tampa Bay with a new head coach in Dirk Cutter, offensive coordinator last year here in Tampa under Lovie Smith. Buccaneers set a franchise record for total yards, and Jay Gruden's Redskins coming off an NFC East division title. Redskins leading tonight's game 13-0. Second quarter, 1st and 10 line, brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Let yourself play.
You know, you look at last year's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were 6-10, but they averaged 135 yards rushing. I mean, you know, you look at the numbers. Their offense was very powerful, potent and powerful. Their defenses would really let them down.
Doug Martin went to the Pro Bowl, rushed for over 1,400 yards. Jameis Winston threw for over 4,000 as a rookie. As Griffin is sacked back at the 6-yard line.
Pressure up front. Joe Barry continues to call up the pressure of the guys up frnt.
And it's the newest Redskin, Cullen Jenkins, just brought in 2 days ago.
You show the power, the speed, the lower body. Guy knows how to rush the passer.
13-year vet, won a Super Bowl ring with Green Bay. He knows the NFC East well, a former Eagle and Giant.
And think of it, you know, he's playing in the 4th preseason game. I mean, 13 years would earn you the right not to. But I'm sure he wants to get some work.
Second down and 15 as we head downstairs to Clinton Portis. Clinton.
Colt McCoy, you got the opportunity to come down to Florida. I know usually in the preseason you circle this game, sunny Florida. You come down and you get this weather. I know you wanted to play. It's like playing in high school.
Oh, I know, man. You got to love the elements. You know, that's what we were talking about at halftime or before the game started. Like, man, just go out there and have fun. Talking to Nate, sling it when we call a pass play. Don't fumble the snap. We'll be all good.
Speaking of elements, you guys need to come out and establish a running game. How impressive have these two backs been?
Very impressive. Robert Kelly and Mac Brown have done a great job. You know, since training camp started, they just haven't got the reps that everybody else has gotten. And tonight they're showing out, and I'm happy for them. Those guys work so hard. I'm glad they're finally getting their chance to go out on the field and show what they got. Game
moved to an early game. You guys come in. You had a long day. You got to get in, get back out. How did this team adjust to that schedule?
Yeah, I just think we didn't blink. You know, we knew that, you know, tropical storm was coming in. We're going to have to fly in, fly out the same day. You guys just got themselves prepared to play. I was proud of Nate. Nate did a really nice job with not a whole lot of reps, getting ready, getting the guys ready. We had a long walk through this morning. And, you know, it seems like so far we've handled it pretty well.
Joe, back up to you. Colt could have played in this weather. I'm not sure you wanted to get your hair messed up, Joe.
Oh, come on now. I wore a helmet, Clinton. That's the reason why. You know, you wear a helmet to protect your hair. But on that last series, we saw Terrence Garvin once again have a ball go through his hand. I mean, Lanier, Garvin, the guys we talked about that have to impress are in position to make plays.
Player out of bounds on a punt, on his own, Tampa Bay. It's a 5-yard penalty added to the end of the play. First down.
Well, there's still time to become a season ticket member for the 2016 season. Join the Premium Club today for premier views, year-round benefits, and more. Call 301-276-6800 or visit tickets.redskins.com to learn more. Use promo code PREMIUM. And for the record, Clinton, Joe's hair has stayed nice and dry here in the broadcast booth.
Hey, Clinton's our warrior tonight down there. I mean, the players are out in the rain, and so is Clinton.
First and 10 from the Buccaneers 41. This is Kelly. And Robert Kelly gains 5 down to the Tampa Bay 36. Yes, Clinton braving the elements as we hit the 2-minute warning in Tampa with the Redskins and Nate Sudfeld out on top by 13. Back in Tampa, the new Redskins mobile app is here. Take advantage of all the latest features. Stay up to the minute with Redskins news. Enhance your game day experience with chances to win exclusive rewards and special offers when you set up your profile. Available now on iTunes and Google Play.
Well, these are the kind of yardages you want as a quarterback and a play caller. 2nd down and 5, 2nd down and 6. So many options and opportunities.
Sudfeld throws. Logan Paulson unable to make the catch as we check out our FedEx ground play of the game.
Well, it can only be one at this point. There's some really good short ones, but this is Mac Brown. Just making people miss. 1, 2, cuts up in the secondary. Now look at the speed to outrun the secondary. Good straight arm, protect the ball. And what do you do with the football? You make sure that your dad gets it. Mac Brown senior.
Now his dad's protecting the ball.
That's right. Just, well, you talk about pride.
FedEx ground play of the game brought to you by FedEx. Ship FedEx ground at FedEx office. Mac Senior also prepared, keeping dry.
Got his glasses, make sure you can see things.
Got the towel.
Yep. Making friends all over the place. It's great.
Couple of fist bumps for Max Sr.
Redskins going for it on 4th down.
4th down and 3 against the Buccaneers squad that has punted 6 times. Tampa Bay with 3 yards of offense.
3 total yards. 3 total yards, and they just called the timeout.
Second timeout taken by the Bucs.
I had a chance to talk to Jay before the game, and we were sort of talking about, what are you looking for in the game? He said, there's great competition at various positions. In the open, we went through some of the numbers that it looks like we'll keep 6 receivers. How many tight ends? Will it be a fullback and a tight end? Joe Carey just played pretty well tonight. Done a nice job of blocking. I mean, they have a lot of different decisions to make regarding 1 or 2 amounts of people. Is it 9? Is it 8? Is it 10? Is it 9? And that's why this game is so important. That's why you need the preseason.
They'll cut down to 53 on Saturday as the pass is broken up. Jonathan Banks makes the play on 4th down, so the Buccaneers will take over.
Everything happens in a little bit more slow motion. Nate took a little bit longer to get this out of his hand. Right now the ball's got to go, and he's thrown behind him also. You got to get it out in front and get it out quicker.
Looking for TJ Thorpe. So with 1:09 on the clock and the Redskins leading 13-0. The Buccaneers offense back out on the field. The only touchdown of the game, the 60-yard run early 2nd quarter. Mac Brown, Dustin Hopkins with a pair of field goals. From the 34-yard line on 1st down, Griffin's pass could not be gathered in by Peyton Barber.
It's just so hard to put a little bit of touch on the ball because it sometimes just squirts out of your hand. You can't really get the revolution. You can't get it to turn over. It's hard to put a touch on it. You either can throw a wet football or you can't. There isn't any in between. I know Troy Aikman used to just go crazy when it rained out there. He was one of those guys that put his complete hand, his palm on the ball. Most of us hold it by our fingers, and he was a palm thrower. Threw beautiful spirals, but when it got wet, it just spun out like tires did.
Griffin on 2nd and 10. Catch is made, taken out to the 47-yard line by Evan Spencer, whose dad is the running backs coach for the Buccaneers, and his brother Cole is a scout for the Washington Redskins. Griffin with time on 1st down, and the catch is made at midfield by Barber out of the backfield for a gain of 3, and now the Bucs will use their final timeout with 35 seconds remaining in the half.
Of course, Martrell Spate still in the middle. The linebackers have been really impressive. I mean, Mason Foster, Terrence Garvin's played well. Martrell Spate.
Sua
Cravens has done a terrific job. You know, Sua Cravens being able to play the inside backer position will allow Bashard Breland to be able to stay outside in nickel. Now that gives you Norman and Breland outside on the corners in a nickel package, which is strong.
So now the Bucs out of timeouts, 35 seconds on the clock. Tampa Bay will get the ball first following halftime as well. 2nd and 7. Griffin complete to the 46-yard line. Gain of 4 as the catch was made by Bernard Reedy. Clock continues to run down to 20 seconds. 3rd down and 3. And Griffin loses the football and then falls on it.
Like I said, you know, I mean, you either have the ability to be able to grip it or it creates a problem. I was talking to Jameis Winston earlier today. He said he's only had 2 opportunities to really work with a wet football. Of course, if you play here in Tampa, you know there are flash storms that come through on quite a few occasions, so you have to have the ability to be able to handle a wet ball.
That's it. First half comes to an end. Bucs were out of timeouts in the preseason finale here in Tampa. Jay Gruden's Redskins leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by the score of 13-0. Field goal on the opening drive, and then Mac Brown, early 2nd quarter, from his own 40, a 60-yard touchdown run. And then Hopkins would add another field goal from 23 yards out. Redskins 13. And the Buccaneers nothing. Halftime highlights brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh.
You look at the job Kendall Fuller has done stepping in at the corner position, and then special teams once again making plays, creating opportunities. I mean, there's just a ton of hustle everywhere. Shazer Everett making a play. Lanier on the outside coming in and making a tackle. Lanier wishes he had that one back, I know. And Everett knocking the ball in the air, and Iheanacho making the interception. A lot of defensive highlights, a lot of offensive highlights we haven't talked about. We'll get to those later. Once again, on the tackle, making a play.
Halftime stats brought to you by SAS Analytics. The power to know. The Buccaneers with 22 total yards, Joe, and 2 first downs.
11 rushing. Just 11 yards rushing to the Redskins, 188. We talk about the running backs, Robert Kelly and Mac Brown doing the job they're doing, getting that second level. But the offensive line, Kenny, has just been incredible up front. They've done a terrific job. And Austin Ryder, the center, obviously is a key position here because Spencer Long has played center. Corey Lichtensteiger is the incumbent center, as it is Josh Laribas, another one who can play center, playing guard.
Mac Brown with 130 yards on the ground, including the 60-yard touchdown run, and Robert Kelly with 11 carries, 58 yards. Joe, our Geico, what to watch for over the next 15 minutes?
I want to be able to see the offensive guys do something with the passing game. been very ineffective. Logan Paulson's had some opportunities. Nate's had the ball get out of his hands a couple of times high. I want to see him be more efficient in the passing game. And I want to see the offensive line continue to create opportunities for the running game.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers start from their 25-yard line. Ryan Griffin, 4 of 7. One interception in the first half as Barber takes it out to the 34-yard line for a gain of 9. Peyton Barber, 7 carries, only 10 yards prior to halftime.
And he's really been their workhorse in the preseason. You just don't get a lot of carries and get a chance to get into a rhythm. Robert Kelly last week with Keith Marshall getting hurt played a lot more football than I thought he anticipated he might, and responded very well.
Second down and 1. It is Barber. So the Buccaneers, Joe, 2 first downs the entire first half. Pick up one early in the third quarter.
Now you start to look at second and third team guys on the field. The big thing about looking at the defense are the fits proper. In other words, if you see a gaping hole, that means somebody didn't fit properly, whether it was a linebacker or a safety.
You heard the sarcastic cheers from the crowd when it was announced that the Buccaneers picked up a first down over the public address.
Both people were upset.
Yes.
Both people were really upset. I just can't believe it. I had a chance to play during a strike season in 1974. We played a preseason game in front of 5,000 people at RFK Stadium. And you could hear the echoes as you called signals. It would reverberate through the entire stand.
Another first down for the Buccaneers in Redskins territory.
Looks like it has basically stopped raining to a degree. Can't really tell. Doesn't look like it's raining much.
Catch made by Jonathan Krause.
Ball up high. Make sure you get it to the body so that you're protected. Once again, Everett with the big hit. Cooper trying to make the play and get it away.
So the Buccaneers match the first down total from the first half as Barber gets wrapped up and forced back by Corey Crawford.
Another one of those guys that's trying to make an impact.
Spent last season on the practice squad.
6'5", our ends are tall. The linebackers are tall. They've got a lot of length to them. 6'6", 6'7", 6'5".
Griffin on 2nd and 10, complete down to the 37-yard line. It's Evan Spencer.
Looks like the Buccaneers have found a route that they like. It's just a quick post.
Evan Spencer, the first player on either side with more than 1 reception today. Spencer now with 2.
Find one that's going to catch it, keep throwing it to him.
3rd down and 2. Buccaneers on the move, opening possession, second half. Ariel Cooper on the coverage for the Redskins.
Nice job, just at the last second gets his head around. Looks at the receiver. Looks at the receiver now. Sees his hands go up, gets his head around, and actually bounces off his face.
Krause in his 2nd season out of Vanderbilt, the intended receiver. Cooper, the rookie free agent from the Citadel. Buccaneers in Redskins territory for only the 2nd time tonight. Now facing a 4th down and 2. And the Buccaneers will pick up another first down to the 31-yard line. It's Bernard Reedy, who has had his issues on special teams tonight, looking to win a spot. St. Petersburg native.
Good job by Ryan Griffin hanging in the pocket. Here comes the pressure, both in his face and from the right. Still makes the throw.
He was able to break away from Terrence Garvin and pick up the first down. Hansbrough bottled up.
Colin Jenkins puts the finishing touches on that one. I mean, you can see a guy who's been a pro. Watch the left part of your screen, okay? He gets blocked, but he spins around, comes back. Looks like the running back's going to get away. No. Continued effort. We talked about the Redskins being sort of light up front. They're not now with Colin Jenkins in the middle.
Like 13th season, you remember his brother Chris had a long career in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, you made the point. He's played in this division almost his entire career.
After his time in Green Bay, moved on to the New York Giants, also a former Philadelphia Eagle.
14 games with the Giants last year, 3 sacks. Of course, the Giants defensively were not very good a year ago.
First sack back in 2004 on Halloween. Took down Mark Brunell.
Mark's got to be thrilled with that stat.
Good coverage there by linebacker Carlos Fields.
Now you've got 4th and 10.
Here comes the field goal unit, the rookie place kicker, the 2nd-round pick. Yes, a kicker Joe picked in the 2nd round, Aguayo out of Florida State.
And the struggles he had in the first 2 preseason games, everybody was questioning why. Of course, he was outstanding at Florida State. Incredible record there.
This will be a 50-yard attempt. His high this preseason is 48. He's 6 of 8 from the right hash. Aguayo from 50. And it has the distance.
Well, we found his maps. That just cleared it.
That is not thunder and lightning, Joe.
No, those are the cannons off the pirate ship.
So Aguayo connects from 50, just barely, to put the Buccaneers on the board. Back at Tampa, Redskins lead by 10. The summer's going fast. So are the cars, trucks, and SUVs during the Ford Freedom Sales Event. Check out the best offers of the summer at your local Ford dealer or go to MidAtlanticFordDealers.com. 4.5-minute drive by the Bucs, who were shut out in the first half. Yet another touchback, Joe.
Yeah, it's hard to evaluate the kickoff return team or the kickoff team simply because nobody gets a chance to do anything with it, except the kickers. 2nd-round pick out of Florida State, most accurate kicker in NCAA history. 267 of 276 field goals. Of course, you play at Florida State, you're going to get a lot of opportunities to put points on the board.
Of course, the Redskins place kicker, Dustin Hopkins, out of Florida State as well.
Same. Exactly. Dustin Hopkins is, every kickoff has not been returned except for one that went back 100 yards against Atlanta. 101, actually.
From the 25 on first down, here's Kelly. Robert Kelly gaining 1 on first down after taking the handoff from the 6th-round pick out of Indiana, Nate Sudfeld.
Out of Indiana. See him basically working out of the gun. Like I thought, a confident guy throws a really nice ball. Big, tall, strong, strapping kid at 6'6". Had a chance to visit with his father last week. Learning very quickly how to operate out of a pocket, how to take a snap from under center, how to run play action, how to turn your back to the defense. All the things he really didn't get a chance to do much in college.
It's Kelly again up the middle. Out across the 30 to the 31-yard line, setting up 3rd down and 4. Sudfeld at Indiana set school records, Joe, for yards and touchdowns. Led the Big Ten in passing yards. And of course, the Redskins saw his brother Zach last couple of weeks back, tied in with the Jets. Right. Nate said it was the first time his parents did not have to choose which game to attend on a given weekend.
But who did they root for? That was the big challenge. Maybe half and half.
Or a tie.
That's true.
3rd down and 4. Sudfeld from the shotgun. And the catch is made for a first down by T.J. Thorpe, who stays in bounds and now is shoved out inside the Tampa Bay 30.
Nice job by T.J. Thorpe going up and getting the football. instead of waiting for it to come to him, you see him out to the right part of your screen. There's a nice reception. Undercut, protects the ball. Turns on some of that speed. Once again, guy out of Virginia, where the Barbers went to school. Got that one right, finally. Only took me 3 quarters. I don't know why I had him attending Virginia Tech. Maybe because my nephew's going. It would have on my mind.
He's a quarterback, right?
Actually, Riley was a quarterback. Now he's a pitcher. And we've seen this way too often. Just a little bit of out front. Joe Carriage had an opportunity. Nate couldn't quite put it where he wanted it.
Following the 41-yard catch and run by TJ Thorpe, the ex-Virginia Cavalier.
Right. You know, Joe Carriage played 48 games at Michigan, had 18 rushing attempts, and 1 rushing touchdown.
Who was it against?
Oh, come on. Ohio State.
Second down and 10.
Are you laughing? Was I right or wrong?
Here's Kelly. I'm laughing because our producer, Rich Wolf, whispered into my ear, probably Notre Dame.
I couldn't say it then. It just wouldn't come out of my mouth if that was the case. Robert Kelly, once again, nice job out front. Saw Painter, number 60, just added to the roster at left tackle.
Winston Painter, former 6th-round pick by the Broncos. You see Kelly's numbers, 75 yards on the ground for Kelly tonight. False start.
False start. Offense.
I'm not going to say
Number
a word
60.
about
5-yard penalty.
what I'm thinking.
First down.
Because I'm not going to bring that into this particular stadium. But so far, things have been pretty efficient tonight by both teams. How's that for a way of dancing around it?
There you go. Painter, who was just signed earlier this week.
Yep.
First down and 15 following the penalty from the Tampa Bay 22. This is number 22, Robert Kelly. Terrific second effort. And he gains 10 down to the Buccaneers 12.
One of the little things you saw on that particular play was Nate Sudfeld, when he took the snap from center, and like I said, he didn't do it a lot in college, brought the ball into his stomach, which really becomes your third hand. See how close he operates to his body, and then reaches out and gives it to Kelly as he starts to run. So he doesn't hit the fullback. He doesn't have a guard knock it out of his hand. Ball security is so important when it's wet like this. You can't get it away from your body. And Nate's doing a really nice job of doing the little things that you need to do to keep the efficiency of the offense.
Second down and 5. Off the fake to Kelly. Sudfeld could not find anyone downfield. And he's down back at the 13-yard line.
This is the area as a quarterback where you have to think points. The area, the holes get smaller to throw it into. You have to be decisive with the football. And you have to understand that you want to give the opportunity to a field goal kicker to make a field goal. This is a little more than an extra point now.
By the way, Carriage's touchdown came against the Minnesota Gophers.
Okay. Thank you.
Not the Fighting Irish.
Not Ohio State.
No. Third down and 6. For the former Indiana Hoosier, Sudfeld and the Redskins to the end zone. Rashad Ross for the Redskins touchdown.
I think Sean McVay, the offensive coordinator, described Nate Sudfeld very well. He's a gamer. Hangs in the pocket, got people in his face. Perfectly thrown ball. And Rashad Ross, once again, using his speed to get to the pylon. Good target, terrific throw, gets it up in the air. You wind up with the touchdown. Josh Robinson just got flat beat.
Third touchdown pass for Sudfeld. Through the game winner to Kendall Thompson in the victory over the Jets. Ross had 2 in that game, so for Rashad Ross, his 3rd score of this preseason.
He is the speed option behind Deshaun Jackson, who, by the way, has had as good a preseason and training camp and OTAs that I have seen him have since he's been a Washington Redskin. He's bigger. He seems faster. He seems stronger. He stayed healthy, which is great all the way through that period of time.
All scoring plays are reviewed. Greg Rolstad will take a look at the Ross catch for the touchdown. What do you think, Joe?
I'm thinking it's a touchdown.
I agree.
I'm still thinking it's a touchdown.
The touchdown catch by Rashad Ross is under review. Get direct access to VIP Redskins travel packages with Prime Sport, the official fan travel partner of the Redskins.
They were looking to see if he got his right foot in. Looked like he had possession on the first step and actually wound up with 3 steps in. Still turns out with the touchdown. What? Right when he has possession, okay, that foot now, it was the foot before, not the one that stepped out. They felt like they wanted to see when he actually caught the football.
Hopkins adds the extra point. So the Redskins extend their lead. It is now 20-3 Washington. Who's that guy on the left? Have the Redskins hired a new assistant coach?
He looks an awful lot like a Gruden. Of course, John will be kicking it off on Monday Night Football. We'll see John Gruden and Sean McDonough doing the booth on Monday Night Football. And of course, Jay was given a job by his brother John with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Maybe he's just talking to him from a reciprocal standpoint.
Must be so strange for John to be standing on the opposite sideline in this stadium.
I just think it's strange for him to be standing on the sidelines. He's been away from them so long. I've asked him over the last couple of years, about getting back into coaching. I think he gets an itch every now and then, but he does such a wonderful job explaining the game, having fun with the game, teaching the game on Monday Night TV.
Joining his brother Jay on the sidelines here in Tampa. As we take one more look at the touchdown, Sudfeld to Ross. They looked at it in the replay booth. Larry Nemmers is the replay official, longtime NFL referee.
What they were reviewing is that now he has possession with his right foot on the ground. That's what they wanted to see. Now the left foot hits, which means it's a legal catch. What they were studying was the right foot, which hits out of bounds, but it really doesn't matter. He already had the 2 feet down. Remember, a catch is a possession and becoming a runner.
Now Griffin and the Buccaneers go back to work. Catch is made at the 24-yard line by Barber. For a short gain, 2-yard pickup. Yes, it does.
Used to run. Little dump off. Good play.
I talked to Mike Pereira yesterday, the former head of officiating with the National Football League, who does such a terrific
Television
job
star, Mike
on
Pereira?
Fox Sports.
Yep.
That's the one.
Yep.
And he talked about the 3 elements that they're looking at on some of those controversial receptions, and control is number 1. Does the receiver have control? Does he have 2 feet down? And that's what they were looking at with Rashad Ross in the end zone. And he said that in his chats with Dean Blandino, who currently heads up the officiating department, the key now is an element of time. We used to hear the term making a football move,
right,
but it's really the time element. And on bang-bang plays, they want people to look at it in real time. Sometimes it could be deceiving in slow motion as far as whether the receiver had possession. So the key is the bang-bang real-time
What do your
element.
eyes tell you?
Right.
I mean, what do your eyes tell you instantly, as opposed to sitting down and studying it frame by frame by frame, which really doesn't give you the right picture? I think it's a good way to look at it.
And you can think of so many examples over the last few years. The Calvin Johnson play in the end zone,
which really started the whole conversation about it.
And helped lead to Mike Pereira becoming a TV star. That was his first day on the job.
Of course it was.
Good starting field position for the Redskins. Late third quarter, they lead the Bucs 20-3. The great Doug Williams acknowledged here in Tampa, former star with the Redskins and the Buccaneers.
5 years a player, 6 years in the organization.
As we check out our Twitter ticker presented by Print and Play from the Virginia Lottery, proud sponsor of the Washington Redskins. Tweet at Redskins with hashtag HTTR or hashtag Redskins Talk to join the conversation. I had a great chat with Doug on the ride down to Tampa today, talking about his career and his time here in Tampa and as head coach at Grambling. Redskins start from the 40-yard line with a 20-3 lead over the Buccaneers. Mac Brown loses a yard on first down as we head to the sidelines and check in with Clinton.
Dookie, it's great to have you back on the field. How does it feel, man?
I feel great, man. Just missing the last 2 years, man. I miss football, so it feels good to just be back with my teammates and just take advantage of the opportunity. So I'm excited, man.
You can tell you miss it. You've been flying around this entire game. How does it feel just to come out in this weather? You know they're going to run the ball just to make contact.
Man, that's what I do, man. I love contact. So, you know, this is my type of game, really. I knew it was going to be this type of game, just, you know, hearing about the weather reports the whole weekend or the whole week. So I was ready. I was mentally prepared. My teammates were. And it was kind of just an easy game.
You're a West Coast guy. It never rains on the West Coast. So being down in South Florida where I'm used to this, was this something you had to get prepared for?
Yeah. Mentally, really. Mentally, I just, you know, we don't play in these types of games all the time. So just to be so early in the year, just be an August game. So it was definitely something I had to mentally prepare for.
Well, Joe, back up to you. I took my hat off and I'm getting my hair wet. How do I look?
Looks good. Looks real good, Clint. And Duke's right. Out west, you just don't get as much rain and inclement weather. And of course, here in Florida, if you blink your eyes, you're going to wind up in a rainstorm somewhere.
Although it is not as bad as we expected to this point.
It's actually went on. I think the storm, according to the storm trackers, moved a little bit, I think, east of here. And there actually has closed a number of schools tomorrow in the Tampa Bay area, expecting much more severe weather.
That school does start early in the state of Florida. Dookie Inacho suffered the wrist injury week 1 last year, missed the rest of the season.
But you could see him all through training camp, and he made a great point when Clinton talked to him about it. Just his desire to go out and play. He's a hitter's hitter. He loves the position. He loves to play safety. We saw him make the great interception off of Everett's batted up in the air ball, and it's good to see him back on the field.
Offside. Defense, number 52. That 5-yard penalty results in a first down. Washington.
Now that's the second time that the Buccaneers have committed an offside penalty lining up on a punt. Those are the kind of things that cost you jobs. It's the little things. You know, missing an assignment, not lining up properly. All those things in this type of a game have much more significance and value than they would, say, in the first preseason game when you get a chance to correct it. If you're a player in this game, there is no tomorrow. You don't have another opportunity to impress, to put something on film that people can see.
Third quarter, 1st and 10 line, brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Hurry into the Honda Summer Clearance event at your local Honda dealer. Why settle for less than a Honda? A reprieve for the Redskins on the penalty, but Sudfeld is taken down back at the 45-yard line.
I want to show you how good Mac Brown is. He's got a play action fake to the right, but he sees the blitz coming to the left. He gets there a little late. Now, he flashed to the left. He's going to try and make the block. He knew exactly where to go, didn't get a chance to execute it properly. But instead of just going with the fake, knew exactly what he wanted to do. Execution wasn't quite there.
Mario McFadden with the sack. Loss of 8. Second down and 18. Buccaneers over the first 3 preseason games, Joe, 13 sacks as Kelly is tackled back at the 39-yard line. Only the Broncos had more coming into this week. The Buccaneers sacked Robert Griffin III 5 times last week, 8 sacks in all in their game against the Browns.
That was the first half in that game. So there's no question that they got better. Like I said, they invested 4 draft picks on the defensive side of the ball to try and get better. Noah Spencer being one of them in the 2nd round. Hargraves is a #1 pick. And see what And this is what our guys have done tonight. Mac Brown, 134 yards. Robert Kelly.
Over 200 yards
85.
on the ground for the Redskins.
And that's a credit to that offensive line and Bill Callahan. The job that Coach Callahan has done with him.
Here's Kelly on 3rd down and 24. Not nearly enough for a first, but another impressive run by the rookie out of Tulane.
That'll get him close to 100 yards for the night.
He's at 99 as he gains 14.
You know the Bucs are going to give him some room. Runs out of that tackle. Goes north-south. Carries a few people with him.
Final minute, 3rd quarter. Kenny Albert, Joe Theismann, Clinton Portis from Tampa, Florida. Preseason finale moved up a day due to the pending storm.
Wednesday night football.
The other 30 will go at it on Thursday night, tomorrow night. Redskins with a 17-point lead as they wrap up the preseason. Redskins Salute, the official military appreciation club of the Washington Redskins. Free to join for all active duty veterans and their families. Redskins Salute offers exclusive year-round events for the military community. Join now at redskinssalute.com. And we salute Derek Dockery, the former Redskins offensive lineman who was presented with the Redskins Salute Award at the Welcome Home Luncheon earlier today. Made a terrific speech. He lost his brother-in-law in Afghanistan back in 2012 and donates so much of his time to charitable events involving the military.
I think we all ought to take pause every day to thank every member of the military and their families, because we realize that our troops are fighting for our freedoms, but their families sacrifice so much as well, and we appreciate everything they do and what they represent in this great country of ours.
Derek Dockery, winner of the Redskins Salute Award. 3 quarters in the books here in Tampa. 15 minutes remaining in the preseason for the Redskins and the Buccaneers. Redskins over 200 yards on the ground. Sudfeld with a touchdown pass to Rashad Ross. Number 4 is the referee.
What's going on, Kenny?
Greg Rolstad. You know where he's going, Joe?
No, is he hurt?
Off the field.
Oh, no, okay.
As part of a continuing experiment during the preseason, the referee will come off the field for the first half of the 4th quarter.
1 of 7.
Right, so he will hand over the reins to Steve Zimmer. There's Steve. He's the field judge, longtime NFL official. Boomer Esiason, Joe, hosts a charity football game every summer. He's done it for the last 20 years in New York. High school football players from Long Island against New York City to raise money for numerous charities. Steve Zimmer is the referee at that game every year.
So he is experienced.
Donates his time. He is experienced. He was a quarterback, in fact, at Hofstra on Long Island. He attended Hofstra Law School, but he does referee at least 1 game per year for Boomer Esiason's charity event.
Which is so wonderful. And now they'll just work with 6. So this is just in case something happens.
In case something happens during the course of the regular season,
right.
And the referee must leave the field. Aside from the changing of the guard at the referee position, Joe, what else are you looking at in our Geico What to Watch for over the next 15 minutes?
Well, this to me is the most important quarter. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. I want to see both teams leave the football field with healthy people. That would be number 1. Secondly, once again, controlling the ball in inclement conditions. Whether you're running, whether you're catching, whether you're throwing, control the football.
Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. As Griffin throws, and the pass is dropped down at the 10-yard line by Hansbrough. You know, back in week 2, the NFL experimented with 8 officials, and that's something that we could see in the near future. Not this year, but possibly next season.
I like the progressive nature of what the NFL is doing. I really like the fact that they moved the extra point back and have kept it now after the experimental year a year ago. I think it'll force more teams to try and go for 2, which will make the game more exciting.
The extra point now the equivalent of a 33-yard field goal. New rule this year with teams taking over on the 25-yard line following a touchback. Their catch is called for by Thorpe. Excellent field position once again for the Redskins as we check out the drive of the game presented by Ford F-150, the official truck of the Washington Redskins.
Nice job by T.J. Thorpe. Good move outside, staying in bounds, picking up the extra yards. course, Robert Kelly just continued to run through and around and over. And Nate Sudfeld, as he has done in every preseason game, with the limited opportunities that he has had, putting the ball right on the money.
3 touchdowns, no picks for Sudfeld during this preseason. 1st and 10, 44-yard line. Mac Brown, gain of 4. Out to the 48. When you look around this NFC East, Joe, Redskins reigning division champs, new coaches with the Giants and Eagles,
and
Tony Romo
quarterback in Dallas.
Injury
now.
situation in Dallas. Where do you see the Redskins as they look ahead to the season opener against Pittsburgh?
I think the Redskins come into this season the most stable team in the NFC East, no question. Jay Gruden in his 3rd year, his coaching staff now with Sean McVay in his 2nd as a coordinator, Joe Barry as the defensive coordinator in their 2nd year, knowing what their football team is about and who they have. You'd have to look at the Redskins and say they are the most stable team and one of the most talented in the division. Of course, you know, Ben McAdoo in New York taking over as a coordinator, similar to what Dirk Cutter did down here as an offensive coordinator, becoming a head coach. And in Philadelphia, you know, Doug Peterson, he's, you know, will Sam Bradford be the guy they expect? Of course, we talk about the Steelers on Monday night. Le'Veon Bell going to be gone. Martavius Bryant won't be there. Heath Miller's retired. But you still have Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger and a defense that if you come out slow at all is going to hit you right square in the mouth, and you will spend the rest of the night trying to recover from it. So the Redskins are going to have to prepare themselves. Their starters are going to have to prepare themselves to come out fast and furious early.
Monday, September 12th, a 7 o'clock start at FedEx Field. Redskins open with 2 at home, Steelers, and then the Cowboys 6 days later.
And then I believe the Giants after that one. So it's you know, you get 2 NFC East teams and a team that people expect to be in contention for a Super Bowl this year. So it'll be a great test of where the Redskins are.
Three minutes in, 4th quarter here in Tampa. Nate Sudfeld has gone the distance. This is Brown. Again, able to stay on his feet. Finally tackled at the 37-yard line. Gain of 7 for Brown. The first half of the season, which will culminate with a game in London against the Cincinnati Bengals. But 3 of the first 4
will be
at
in London.
home.
We'll be in London together.
Yes, we will.
At that one. 3 of the first 4 at home, which is crucial. Of course, the Steelers on a Monday night, and the Cowboys. The question with Dak Prescott, I really like him coming out of college. I think he's a very talented guy, but he's still a rookie. And there's a lot that he's going to have to process. Of course, Alfred Morris is now down in Dallas. Then you get the 4th game where you've got Robert Griffin III in Cleveland as their starting quarterback.
False start. 74 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
That's an Aaron Quandro, only the 3rd Redskins penalty, and we talked about it last week. Double digits each of the first 3 games.
14 in the first against Atlanta. Then the Jet game, there was 10. Buffalo 10. And now just the 3rd one tonight. Under very, very different conditions.
3rd down and 7 following the penalty. Redskins must get to the 35 for a first down. Sudfeld sets and throws, and Ross did a 360 with Banks on the coverage.
Ross was looking for the ball more outside towards the sideline, so when he made the turn and the ball was inside, he really couldn't react to it. Does a nice job of pressing up, gives the look. Now he's looking for it outside, and the ball winds up going inside a little bit. You start to look at, we talked about the offensive line, but then you add Painter now to the mix, and you add Cullen Jenkins on the other side to the defensive line mix. It's 2 roster spots there possibly that again are occupied for guys that are just joining the team.
Fair catch called for by Kraus at the 15-yard line. 10.5 remaining here in Tampa. Its official women's platform is your all-access pass to year-round events, exclusive content, and more. Join now for free at wowredskins.com. You can also say wow about the Redskins run game tonight.
and their defense, both of them. I mean, their defense has given up through 3 quarters just 26 yards running the football.
And the Redskins themselves have gained 233 yards on the ground. This is Barber. Peyton Barber out to the 17-yard line.
You and I have talked about this over the last couple of weeks, that there will be guys that will not make the Washington Redskins. And I'm saying anywhere between 8 to 10 of them will wind up with jobs somewhere in the National Football League. Kendall Fuller has done a wonderful job coming back. They had him on a pitch count through the OTAs and the mini camps to take care of that knee of his, but he's responded in such a way that you just have to really feel good about the depth at corner. He will make the team.
Griffin's pass is caught by Barber, and the point you made points to the depth throughout the entire organization. The fact that you feel that 8 or 10 of the players who did not make the Redskins following the final cuts will surface with other clubs.
You know, DeShazer Everett, for example, we've seen him make plays in every game. You see him force a fumble against the Jets, knock the ball in the air, which resulted in an interception. Terrific special teams player. You got to think at the cornerback position, opportunity there. Mac Brown certainly has made a case, I think, to be on this football team. Not just the way he ran the football, but what I was impressed with, and this was the first thing that jumped out at me, was what Robert Kelly and Mac Brown did over the last couple of weeks when it came to pass protection, which from a quarterback's perspective is extremely critical.
Teams will cut down from 75 to 53 on Saturday. As Bruce Allen mentioned earlier when he joined us in the second quarter, practice squads are now at 10. So you wind up carrying a total of 63 players, 53 on the active roster plus 10. But with guys like Sudfeld and Mac Brown, the question is, can you sneak them through onto the practice squad and keep them away from other teams?
Well, based upon what you've seen tonight from Mac Brown, I think it would be hard to put him on a practice squad, then have to run him through waivers and not have him be claimed somewhere.
I agree.
I think that would be a tough move. And Nate, on the other hand, has played very, very well. Hopefully he gets an opportunity to continue to grow and learn. And again, a credit to the coaching staff. You look at this offensive line and the job they did. Bill Callahan is a great teacher. Not a good teacher, but a great teacher. And you see the result of that in the second and third string guys that are playing on the offensive line.
Pass knocked down by Corey Crawford. And when you talk about Bill Callahan, you look at the job he did in Dallas prior to coming to the Washington Redskins.
Created one of the best offensive lines in football down there. You know, I mean, Trent Williams, Sean Lavau's come back. They've had Sean a little bit of a pitch count. Brandon Sheriff, our #1 pick, is on his way to becoming an all-pro. Ty Anseki, we talked about the job he did stepping in there. If you'd have seen him a year ago, you'd think, well, the guy, you know, he's going to struggle. But he's done a fabulous job and just hung in all the way through. Anseki I've got to run through that. I mean, I was so impressed. He was in the AFL, Corpus Christi Sharks, then the Dallas Vigilantes, the Philadelphia Soul, the San Antonio Talons. He was released by New Orleans, played with the Montreal Alouettes in the Canadian League, signed by the Skins, and went to the LA Kiss, where Gene Simmons owned the team, then the Skins again. I mean, this guy is relentless. And they're the kind of guys that Jay Gruden loves, those kind of guys that just, they're going to fight and fight and fight until they make you notice them.
Joe, I know your birthday's coming up in a little over a week.
Yeah.
I found the perfect gift for you. A San Antonio Talons hat. It's coming your way.
I'd love to have one. LA Kiss would be cool too. I had the opportunity to meet Gene Simmons a number of years back. What an intriguing gentleman he is, and what a band they are. And iconic is the only way you really can describe it.
And he enjoys his football.
He loves his football.
Midway through the fourth quarter here in Tampa. The preseason finale originally scheduled for tomorrow night. Redskins with a 17-point lead. And you look at a guy like Griffin, third-string quarterback here in Tampa. What will the Minnesota Vikings do? Will they look to trade for or pick up a quarterback from another team's roster following the injury suffered by Teddy Bridgewater?
And we sure hope Teddy's going to come back. I mean, it was a dislocation, plus I guess the ACL was torn completely as well. He'll have an entire year to rehab. He's a young guy. Hopefully everything will go well as they put him back together. But the Dallas Cowboys have to be thinking about what are they going to do with their quarterback situation down there. That's another team that you have question marks about.
So much excitement in a state such as Minnesota with the Vikings.
New stadium.
On the move, the new stadium. Playoff appearance last year. Head coach Mike Zimmer's done a terrific job. North Turner, the offensive coordinator. And then this.
Adrian Peterson, you know, the dominant force that he is in the running game. Defensively, they got better.
Another first down for the Bucs to the Redskins. 32-yard line. Austin Safarian-Jenkins, the third-year tight end.
Second-round pick. As a matter of fact, Dirk Cutter, during OTAs, threw him off the field because he didn't know what he was doing. He said it was a wake-up call for him. And come back and bounce back and became more focused. Jay Gruden watching the clock. Make sure all his guys have an opportunity to get the look-sees. When I had a chance to talk to Sean McVay, the offensive coordinator, he said, what you want to do also in this game, besides evaluate the players that you believe can make your football team, you want to give other guys a chance to be able to show what they can do so that they might possibly get a job somewhere. Now, I think that's a wonderfully unselfish approach to try and help young players find a place to be able to play in the National Football League.
Under 6 minutes remaining as we head down to Clinton.
Ryan Grant, you had an opportunity to play with Kelly in college. How has he impressed you tonight?
He's impressed me a lot, man. This is a great game for him to come out here and showcase his skills to the coaching staff. They give him a chance to play a bunch, and it's a good thing going for him.
Speaking of having a chance, you guys went out and drafted a wide receiver. Your wide receivers room full of talent. How do you feel like you guys will do?
I think we will do really well this year, man. Josh is a young player. Crowder, a young player. I'm a young player. DJ, he's a great veteran as well as Pierre, man. I think we'll do well this year.
Speaking of DJ, he's having his best preseason, off-season period with the Washington Redskins since coming. So how has DJ helped you out?
He helps me out a bunch, man. Like if I have any type of question about a route or coverage or whatever, he's there to answer the question for me.
Hey, appreciate it, man, and good luck to you.
Clinton's
Ryan
hair.
Grant, third-year receiver.
Yeah, Clinton's hair's looking good.
Yeah, sure is.
Nice and,
almost as good as yours.
Thank you very much.
Ryan Grant, Robert Kelly, Redskins running back, and Ryan Griffin. There's Griffin, the Buccaneers quarterback, all together at Tulane.
And here in Tampa Bay, just by getting a first down, they felt it was important to be able to fire the gun off. They figured maybe they won't get in the end zone, but at least they had a chance to fire the cannon again.
We have not heard it too often tonight. And the fans here in Tampa will not hear it for a while, and they won't hear it here, as that pass could not be handled by Freddie Martino. The Buccaneers will start on the road the first 2 weeks.
Right, Freddie Martino puts a terrific move on DeShazer. The out and up, plants, goes. Mariel Cooper, excuse me.
Second down and 10 for the Bucs. 2 road games to start the season for Tampa Bay, at Atlanta, at Arizona.
Arizona appears to be the team in the NFC East, or the NFC, that everybody is talking about with the skill set they have and the defense as good as it is.
Loads of time for Griffin, and the pass is caught inside the 5-yard line by Evan Spencer.
Ryan Griffin just running around trying to create space so that he can make a throw. He is out on the run. Good job of turning the shoulders and the hips.
Third down and 3 for the Bucs. They could pick up a first down without reaching the end zone. Under 4 minutes remaining.
Clock operator wants the game to move along a little more quickly. Instead of 3:46, it's going to go to 4:04.
Steve Zimmer, the field judge, still acting as the referee.
Doing an excellent job. You know, we had a discussion earlier, Kenny, is would he change hats? I guess if this hat fits him, the other one would either maybe be too big or too small, so he'd keep the hat he has.
Or too wet.
Or possibly wet, absolutely.
Buccaneers unable to convert on 3rd down, so they will send out the field goal unit.
There's the Shazer. Everett coming in and making the play.
Dan Vitale, rookie out of Northwestern, the intended receiver, 6th-round pick. So here's Aguayo, hit from 50 yards out earlier, back in the 3rd quarter.
With plenty of room to spare. Almost a foot.
If that.
And
this a 22-yard attempt. So Aguayo is 2 for 2. Under 4 minutes remaining. There's the counting, Joe. You okay?
Got 3 points there. 3 shots.
15-point lead for the Redskins. Just under 4 minutes on the clock. 4th quarter here in Tampa. As we check out some more tweets, Joe.
Love the Redskins. Remember, plays Mark Mosley, one of the greatest. You know, Mike Bragg was another one. Great.
A fan of T.J. Thorpe.
Yep.
A lot of excitement surrounding the Redskins.
I really think it is. And, you know, people have accused me of being, you know, optimistic, sometimes cautiously optimistic. I'm more than optimistic about this football team. Love the direction it's going. And Scott McLuhan's done a really wonderful job building this football team with not just #1 picks, but, you know, like, for example, the deal for Josh Norman. He was a 5th-round pick who has made himself into one of the best corners in this league.
John Ross on the return. So the Redskins offense back out onto the field with 3:46 remaining. One week Fantasy Football League on FanDuel today. Home to more winners than any other site. Go to FanDuel.com for your free account now. Theismann, my 1st-round pick.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Check him out on Twitter at Theismann7.
Yeah. Love visiting with fans. Love people's opinions. Some agree with me, and some don't. It's always fun to have the conversation.
4th quarter, 1st and 10 line, brought to you by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer, celebrating 75 summers of living by forever.
Boy, has it been a hot summer in the Northeast. Wow. More 90-degree days through the month of August that I've ever seen.
August coming to an end. The preseason finale for the Redskins and the Buccaneers. The combination of Robert Kelly and Mack Brown have rushed for over 240 yards.
Thunder and lightning. Fortunately, we didn't have any here in Tampa.
Only on the field.
Oh, that's all it was. Redskins defense allowed 6 points and 147 yards.
Buccaneers will use their 2nd timeout, stop the clock at 3:31.
I don't want to see Mack limping.
Matt Jones working his way back from shoulder injury. Chris Thompson, 2nd on the depth chart. Keith Marshall now on IR, but what a performance by both Brown and Kelly tonight.
A different rule for IR this year also. One of the rule changes is that you don't have to pre-designate. You can bring anyone back off of IR after the allotted time.
Following 6 weeks, a player can return. 3rd down and 8. This is Brown out of the backfield. And he is stopped just short. Gain of 7.
When you really stop and think of the way this football game has gone, with the amount of runs that the Redskins have committed to, the running backs have to be exhausted, because normally in a Sean McVay offense, you would not see this many runs. you'd see the balance maybe 65-35, leaning towards throwing the football. But here, the offensive line has continued to block well. The running backs have been just outstanding with what they've done. And not only, again, we see Kelly out on the wing. Not only are they running the football, but they're on, they're gunners on the special teams.
Tressway punting from his 15-yard line. Kraus back deep for the Bucs. From the 22. Return of only 2 yards. Shazer Everett made the tackle on special teams. So the Buccaneers get the ball back with 3:11 to play, trailing the Redskins by 14. Tampa Bay will start from their 24. Joe, what do you think of the new rule that now allows a coach up in the press box to have the communication with either the quarterback or the defensive signal caller? It does not have to be a coach on the sideline.
Some coaches just prefer to spend the time in the box, and if they were unable to communicate the way they wanted to, I think it was a disadvantage. I think this levels the playing field for coaches to be able to talk to players at every level. I know Sean McVay tried it in the first preseason game and doesn't like it. He just felt like he was detached from the game. He would have to communicate with Coach Kavanaugh, who's the quarterback coach. Then he would have to talk to Kirk Cousins. And he said, I want to be able to look him in the eye and be able to ask him questions and explain what I'm thinking to him. So I think it's a good idea that the coaches now who prefer to stay up there and have a system worked out that's comfortable for them can communicate with the quarterbacks.
Big hit made by Shazer Everett on the tackle. Of course, whether the coach with the communication is on the field or upstairs, it is still shut off with 15 seconds remaining on the play clock.
I think it's hard to be able to talk to players in a huddle, too, to be able to talk to a guy and say, hey, look, if this guy sits down on you, do this or that. You have such a limited time, and the play calls are so expansive. They're anywhere between 15 and 20, 25 characters, numbers, and names just to get a play call.
Approaching the 2-minute warning here in Tampa with the Buccaneers on the move in Redskins territory. Trailing by 2 touchdowns, and there is a flag. With Floyd Carrington on the coverage, the rookie out of Arizona State.
Offside. Defense, number 48. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down. This is the 2-minute warning at 1:59.
Lyndon Trail, the guilty Redskin, as we hit the 2-minute warning in Tampa. 2 minutes remaining in the preseason for the Redskins and the Bucs. Washington Redskins preseason football has been brought to you in part by FedEx. Ship FedEx Ground at FedEx Office. Bud Light reminds fans to make the right call and drink responsibly. And by Inova, official health system of the Washington Redskins. Final 2 minutes here in Tampa as Griffin fires, and the pass incomplete, intended for Bernard Reedy.
Tampa Bay with no timeouts left.
Getting back to our discussion about the coach to quarterback communication, how do you think you would have adjusted to a coach talking to you in your helmet?
Well, we would have certainly had a more expansive game planning. I mean, there are a lot of things that with the wristband and the communication upstairs that a coach can explain to you. We were limited by a signal system and a time frame. So, I've
offside
never worked.
Defense, number 48. That's a 5-yard penalty and a first down.
That's Lyndon Trail again.
I've never had a communicator in my helmet, so I really wouldn't know. But I don't think I would have liked it a whole lot. I like to be able to look in the huddle and talk to Joe Jacoby, and there's Sean McVay, and he's upstairs. I think he just wanted to get out of the rain. I think that's why his decision was made tonight. Terrific young football coach. Again, when you watch him teach and watch him install, it goes with just such speed that he requires you to listen, to take notes, to understand what's going on.
Shazer Everett again.
It's like Mac Brown to Shazer Everett. It's like whether the defense is on the field or the offense is on it. We know Robert Kelly's done a terrific job as well. Duke Ianacho, another one, has done a terrific job. Stick a shoulder in him. I know a bunch of guys that are going to sleep on a plane going home tonight. I mean, you talk about putting in a full day's work. Wet, tough field conditions, but yet you look at the intensity with which this defense continues to play.
Traveling on the day of the game, which is obviously unusual.
Yeah, remember they came in today. They arrived at 3 and they arrived at 2:30 at the hotel. They had a pregame meal and were back on buses to head to the stadium at 3:45, and they will be on a plane tonight. By the time they get wheels up, it'll probably be sometime around midnight.
Also playing 5 days after their last game, which in a way will get them ready for the regular season when they open on a Monday and then play 6 days later.
And we did the same travel too. I mean,
we're up here in the booth, but we stayed out of the rain.
Whew, it's tough. Well, we did walk it through. No, you stayed out of the rain. I actually had to walk through the parking lot to get here. No, these kids have done a great job. This coaching staff, Scott McCloughan, everybody in the organization, Bruce Allen, we talked about it. Daniel Snyder has a lot to be proud of what he has seen from the Redskins so far. Now they're going to have to take it to another level to be able to get the job done.
Into the end zone for the touchdown. 9-yard pass play. Bernard Reedy from Ryan Griffin.
Little pick pattern coming in underneath and makes the play.
Reedy, formerly on the practice squad of the Atlanta Falcons. His nickname is Speedy Reedy.
Makes sense.
Hoping to win a job. Here is Aguayo for the extra point.
A lot of pressure on this young man being a second-round pick. A lot of points are decided by 3 points or less in the National Football League. So you can see the value in the kicker. Although Garner Barth had a pretty good year last year, not good enough for him to just keep his job. And Speedy Reedy. Come with the full blitz.
Seven-point game, Joe.
Yeah. 57 seconds to go. Probably an onside kick. Tampa Bay has no timeouts. Redskins have 3. I believe the Redskins will leave this game with 3 timeouts.
Yes. No question about that. Jay Gruden chatting with the veteran Will Blackman.
Will Blackman played all those years, 9 years in corner. This is the year he's playing safety. And again, as we saw him in the preseason, react and do a terrific job. You know, with Will Blackman and D'Angelo Hall, you can't read books on how to play safety. You know, 2 guys who have gone from corners to safeties, you have to learn. Aeneas Williams did a terrific job. Of course, Rod Woodson, Charles Woodson, both of them, Hall of Famers.
57 seconds remaining. Buccaneers have scored on their last 2 possessions. A field goal and a touchdown.
Just going to kick it off? No. Kick it out of bounds.
So the onside attempt is unsuccessful. And the Redskins will be able to run out the clock. Buccaneers are out of timeouts.
Couple of plays.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 47-yard line. First down.
So the Redskins will end the preseason at 3-1, 3 consecutive victories over the Jets, the Bills, and the Buccaneers.
And finish on a positive note, not just with the wins, but the performances of young guys that they're going to have to count on. Running back situation, the outside linebacker position, the growth of the safeties. Even though the starters did not play a lot once they got going last week against Buffalo, the offense became very efficient. Nate Sudfeld doing a nice job getting limited amounts of time. This is one of my favorite formations, the let's seal the win formation.
Sudfeld takes a knee. Redskins today rushed for 248 yards. 149 for Brown, 99 for Kelly. These are their numbers for the entire preseason.
Both of them did a wonderful job. And what is not reflected in those statistics is the job that they did picking up blitzes, getting their assignments right, being where they're supposed to be.
So the Redskins come down to Tampa on the day of the game.
And leave the day of the game with a victory.
Yes, by the score of 20-13 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their new head coach, Dirk Cutter. So the Buccaneers finished the preseason at 2-2. Redskins now look ahead to their regular season opener on Monday, September 12th at FedEx Field against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Solid all-around effort tonight by the Redskins in the rain. 7-point victory over the Bucs. Back in a moment.